Imagine an SUV that has the soul of a supercar, the ruggedness of a mountain goat, and the tech of a Silicon Valley startup. You've seen the Rivian R1S everywhere. Those futuristic stadium headlights look like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's the cool choice, the vehicle that supposedly does everything better than a Range Rover or a Tesla. But here's the problem. Rivian isn't a 100-year-old car company. They're a startup. While the R1S looks like the perfect family rig, owners are reporting weird issues in 2026. From vampire battery drain to a ride quality that feels like sitting on a jackhammer, there is a dark side to this electric dream. Is this actually the best SUV ever made? Or are you paying $90,000 to be a glorified beta tester? Today, we're stripping away the hype. We'll cover the mind-bending speed, the secret storage hacks, and the hardware failures nobody talks about. By the end, you'll know if the R1S is the future of your garage or a massive financial mistake. Let's get into it. Let's start with performance. On the surface, the R1S looks like a boxy, friendly SUV. It's got a lifestyle vibe that suggests it belongs at a trailhead. But then you look at the specs for the newer quad-motor versions. We're talking over 1,000 horsepower. That is an insane number, more power than a Bugatti Veyron had when it first shocked the world. The tension comes when you actually try to use that power. You're sitting in a 7,000-pound beast with your kids and a week's worth of groceries. You see a gap in traffic. You've been told this thing can do 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. But can a vehicle this heavy and this high off the ground handle that kind of violence without flipping over? There's a genuine moment of, should I really do this? Before you bury your foot in the carpet. The payoff is a physical sensation that's hard to describe. When you pin the throttle, the R1S doesn't just accelerate, it teleports. Because it's electric, there's no downshifting, just a silent, gut-punching surge of torque. Thanks to the updated suspension and active torque vectoring, it stays flat. It defies physics. You're driving a 3-row family hauler that can outsprint a Ferrari. It's the ultimate sleeper, and once you feel it, gas cars start to feel like they're moving in slow motion. Rivian markets the R1S as the electric adventure vehicle. They want you to take this thing through mud, over jagged rocks, and across rivers. It's got adjustable air suspension that lifts the body up to 15 inches. That's more ground clearance than a Ford Raptor or a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. On paper, it's the king of the trail. But here's where it gets dicey. Most luxury SUVs are soft rotors at best. Their all-wheel drive systems give up the second they hit real mud. And let's be honest, who wants to kick a $100,000 electric car into the wilderness where there are no charging stations? There's a fear that if you get stuck or if a sharp rock punctures that massive battery pack, you're looking at a total loss and a very long walk home. The anxiety of what if usually keeps these cars on the pavement. But this is where Rivian proves the doubters wrong. The R1S isn't just capable for an EV, it's one of the best off-roaders on the planet. The quad-motor setup introduces kick turn, which reverses the wheels on one side to let you pivot on a dime. Because there's a motor at every wheel, the computer manages traction with millisecond precision that an old-school mechanical locker could never dream of. You can crawl up a 45-degree rock face in near silence. It makes off-roading feel like a video game with God mode turned on.
If you're buying an R1S, you're likely using it for the family. It's a 3-row SUV designed to haul 7 people. It's got vegan leather, a massive glass roof, and a minimalist design that looks like a high-end Scandinavian living room. It feels expensive and futuristic. But minimalism comes at a cost. Rivian followed Tesla's lead and removed almost every physical button. Want to adjust your air vents? You have to use the screen. Want to open the glove box? Screen. Even the steering wheel adjustment is hidden in a digital menu. For a parent trying to drive while a toddler is screaming and the navigation is recalculating, this isn't high-tech, it's a safety hazard. Then there's the third row. Rivian claims it's for adults, but anyone over 5'10" is going to feel like they're in a yoga pose they didn't sign up for. It's a bit of a war zone of menus and tight spaces. However, you forgive the screen-heavy interface the moment you realize how much stuff you can fit in this thing. The R1S has a frunk, a front truck, that is absolutely massive. It's powered, weatherproof, and the perfect place for muddy boots or stinky gym bags. Plus, there's a hidden compartment under the rear floor, deep enough for a full-size spare or a cooler. The payoff is the sheer versatility. Between the split-folding seats and the storage cubbies, it handles the daily chaos of family life better than almost any SUV in its class.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, range anxiety. Rivian offers battery packs like the Max Pack, promising over 400 miles of range. That sounds like plenty for a road trip. You plan your route, see the chargers on the map, and head out with confidence. But the real world is rarely that simple. If you put on those beautiful 22-inch sport wheels, your range drops instantly. If it's cold outside, it drops further. And if you decide to tow a trailer, your range is basically cut in half. Suddenly, that 400-mile dream turns into a 200-mile reality. Since Rivian is still building its own adventure network, you're often forced to use third-party chargers that are broken, slow, or located in the sketchy corner of a parking lot at 2 a.m. That adventure starts feeling like a nightmare. The big win for 2026 models, though, is the switch to the NACS port. This means the R1S can now natively use the Tesla supercharger network. This is a total game changer. You finally get access to the most reliable charging infrastructure on Earth. Plus, the R1S charges fast, adding 140 miles in about 20 minutes at a high-speed stall. While you still have to plan your trips more than you would in a gas car, the nightmare is fading. With the Max Pack and Tesla's network, the R1S is finally a viable cross-country machine.
Now, you've spent the money. You love the speed and the look. You expect a premium experience for that price tag. You want the peace of mind that comes with owning a luxury vehicle. This is the part that keeps owners up at night. Rivian doesn't have a dealership on every corner. If your air suspension starts making a clunking sound, a common complaint, you can't just go to a local mechanic. You have to book an appointment through an app. Sometimes the nearest service center is 3 states away. Some owners have reported waiting months for simple body parts after a minor fender bender. There's a real feeling of being stranded if something goes wrong with a complex software or specialized hardware. But Rivian is moving fast to fix this. They've simplified the wiring in the newest models, removing miles of cables to make the car less prone to ghost glitches. They also offer mobile service, where a technician literally drives to your house to fix your car in the driveway. The payoff here is the community and the updates. Rivian sends over-the-air updates almost every month. Your car literally gets better while you sleep. They've added features like pet mode, camp mode, and even fun seasonal themes. You're not just buying a car, you're buying a platform that evolves, which traditional car companies just can't offer.
So where does that leave us? The Rivian R1S is a vehicle of extremes. It is faster than it needs to be, more capable than most owners will ever realize, and packed with more tech than a SpaceX rocket. It's a bold statement on wheels. But it's also expensive and a startup product. You're paying a coolness tax to be an early adopter. You have to ask yourself, am I okay with the occasional software bug or a trip to a distant service center in exchange for driving the most interesting SUV on the road? If you want a safe, boring luxury SUV, go buy a Lexus or a BMW. You'll be comfortable, but you'll be just like everyone else. But if you want a vehicle that makes you smile every time you walk up to it, a vehicle that can take your kids to school on Monday and crawl over a mountain pass on Saturday, the R1S is in a league of its own. It's not perfect, but it's arguably the most complete vehicle ever made for people who actually like to go outside. It's a glimpse into the future of transportation. And honestly, the future looks pretty awesome. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this deep dive. If you enjoyed this breakdown, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Also, I want to hear from you. Are you Team Rivian, or would you rather stick with a Tesla or a traditional gas SUV? Drop a comment below. I try to read and reply to as many as I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.